So here we are going to be downloading Git Bash. We're going to be downloading Mac OS because that is my platform. I'm going to wait, or
what's the URL?
It is. Where did I go? Okay. Git-scm.com. So I have it downloading up here. Open it up. As you can see, there's the one because I've already installed this, but just showing. Then we finally here. It can most certainly be trusted. It's okay if you do the 32. The thing that might cause problems is if you're on a 32-bit system and you download the 64-bit, then it wouldn't work. But if you guys are like on Windows 10, I'm pretty sure it's 64. Where do you have it? Okay. There we go. And oh, I apologize. Right here, Git for Windows. This might help you guys out.
That's the one I went to. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, try this one. Try this one because that distro is meant to be like for all-encompassing. This makes it super easy. It's an all-in-one. You just click download. Yep. Oh, I was extracting the file after I downloaded it, but since I already have it downloaded, it wasn't letting me continue. So this is the package I just installed. This is the Mac OS. And it says can't be opened because it's from an unidentified developer. Your security preferences. So we'll go to security. Where is security? If that's not working, just pivot to the Git for Windows website if it's not working for you. I apologize for that. If you're having trouble, just come down to here. It's just Git for Windows. Right here. Just scrap what I told you to do. I apologize. Go straight to this website if you have a Windows machine. And then there should be right here. We have the 32-bit. So once again, we're back at the bits. So everyone should, if you're not sure, just download the 32-bit version. It's right here. I'll pump it up so you guys can see. These are all the different distros that this guy has for Git on Windows. For some reason, he has a Linux distro right here too, but the two you need to worry about are 32-bit, which I think you should just install for ease for right now, and then the 64-bit if you're confident that you're running on a 64-bit architecture.
Should I enable experimental built-in
Yeah. Usually what you do Git add for is adding your files to your version control, which you don't need to worry about that for right now. And those are brand new tools, so I actually don't even know what they do. I'd have to read up on them. So once we get that all running,
I just took the stock options that recommended.
I would say the middle one, the recommended one. Yeah, that would make it so that in your command line you can run bash commands, and in bash you can run bash commands. So whichever terminal you're using is set. That's good. Yep. Yep. Residential. Yep. File system caching install. Don't enable the experimental features. Yeah. But you have a max. You don't need to worry about it. Open your terminal. You might need to go to the launch from that. Applications. And then terminal. It's not there. Okay. How to access. Yeah, you got it. Cool. How to access terminal in Mac OS. So launch Spotlight and type in terminal. Can you try going to the app launcher, the rocket ship to the right of the Finder, or the launch pad, and then type terminal on the top? Yeah, I mean, just add the dock feature. I don't know why it wasn't there. And then you can open that. And it has bash, so you're good. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly. Just type in get for Windows, and you can uninstall whatever you. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's what you want. Because I can do stuff like this. I can read all your files. I can change directories. That's what you want for version control. You're the only one that has access to this, and as a matter of fact, the computer has specific commands that you need to run in order for it to access libraries that would make your computer vulnerable. So it's actually really secure unless you take it personally or like purposely out of that safe zone. There's two ways to do that. It's called sudo, which promotes you to a super user only for that one command. Let's see. So there's two ways to do this. You do sudo echo hello. I'll try to, I just realized this is super small. There we go. So this is my terminal. If I just type in sudo echo hello, oh, I didn't finish it off. See how it asks me for my password? That's how you know you're doing it right. Right now, the terminal's in a safe environment. It's pretty much impossible to run something that's going to destroy your machine from the terminal because of this property. So I will type in my password. Now it says hello. See that? So if I try to do something, I really don't want to try and destroy this machine, but if I wanted to try and do that, it would say access denied. You don't have the proper privileges in order to do that. So another thing you can do is just type in SU, which just stands for super user. Super not recommended right now, but these are the two ways where you would like promote yourself to the admin, and this would give you control over being able to essentially destroy your computer. Yeah. So, Sue, sorry.
So what do you do when you're online? Can I destroy my computer?
No, that's what I'm showing. I did LS, so I'll show you LS as well. This is great. This is like a terminal. It's just like, you know, how you see the hackers using and everything. It's maybe a little overblown. So if I type in LS, I don't know what that stands for, but it lists selections maybe that's what that stands for. So I type in LS, and right now you can see I'm kind of in my home directory. So what I do is I type in CD and I go documents. If you start typing the beginning of something, so CD stands for change directory. I know that for a fact. CD, so you're going to change the directory you're in, also known as like a folder. Now I can type in capital D. Remember, capitals and lowercase are different code to the computer, so you have to specify caps. And this isn't JavaScript. This is Bash. So it's shell code. This isn't JavaScript.
Should we be following?
No, I'm just showing you some of the capabilities. So yeah, so if I wanted to go to CD documents, all I have to do is just type in DOC and then tab, and it finishes it for me. It already knows what I'm talking about. So now I'm in the documents. I'm traversing my file system through the terminal. You see how I'm doing that? So now I can come in here. I can do CD galvanize, LS, I forget what's in here. Let's do CD coding, LS, print working directory. Now you can see exactly where I am in my file directory, and we don't have that like visual element of being able to see what the files are, but this is predominantly how you will be using Git. Yeah, but Git is a lot easier than that. Let me try and find one of my Git projects. And you would be using this in an IDE, which makes it even easier. So this is just like a raw vanilla terminal. You wouldn't typically be doing it in just a raw terminal. But let me try and find some of my, if I go to my Unity, let's go maybe, if I do git status, so now we're talking about Git, right? We're finally on Git. I already installed Git into this repository, but these are some of the functionalities that you can see. So I typed in git status, and it says, oh, this is perfect. I'm so happy this happened. So this is where Git works, and this is why it was talking about those experimental features you may have saw Windows users, where it was talking about, do you want to install git add slash p or whatever. They say they're experimental features, and I've never seen them, so I've been able to work for a year in the developing community without having to use those. So for now, I'm gonna table those. I don't know what they do yet. I'll have to read into that. I didn't realize that they were even out. But what you would do is you would come into your repository. This would be where all your code is stored, right? If I wanted to show you in a second, I can. But it turns out that I have the two files, right? The two version controls. One is on GitHub. The other one is on my local machine right now. And so they're talking to each other right now. That's what I just did with git status. I said, what is the status of my current repository versus the one that's on github.com? And it says your branch is ahead of your master branch by one commit. So that means that I did work on my local machine that's not reflected online on GitHub. So, actually, this is perfect. What project am I in? The TD, the tower defense. So now, if we go to GitHub, once it loads, and we go to the tower defense, you'll see my commits right now are 33, and this is the master branch. It's the only branch I have. For the most part, that's all you got to worry about. You just have one branch. So right now this repository is created. I'll show you how to create a repository. Right now it's not that important, but Git is very important for maintaining version control. So what I would do if I wanted to push these files onto the server that GitHub is hosting, I would do git add, and you can type in all, which is very obvious as to what it does. It adds all of the files that I need version controlled. So right now it says that, that some of my files are out of sync and that I should add them and commit them to the remote repository. So the first thing you do is you add the files to what's called to be staged to commit. So there's multiple levels. If I did this, it's the same thing. So git add all. Oh, maybe not. Git add all. Nope. Okay. It's been so long since I've used all, I forget exactly how it goes because I just used the period.
Capital A.
That might be it. I don't know. Maybe it's an asterisk. I've been doing
Hyphen A in the list.
adds change. Oh. Oh, so it's with the flag A. Okay, thank you. It's right there.
Is that what's called flag A?
These are flags. Yes, these are flags. So if you ever see these, especially in the terminal, they're flags. So that's what they're always called. You're never going to hear them called anything different. When you run a terminal command, you will typically pass like a variable with a flag on it, so that it knows. Which is what I just did. So there's one way to get add, which is with the period, and then the other one is by passing in capital A with a flag. That's what that would be called. Okay, so cool. Now if I type in get status, it says my branch is still ahead. Use get push to to publish your local commits. Nothing to commit, working tree clean. Okay, cool. Get push. There we go. Now we have all the information on there. Now if we type in get status, it says it's up to date and there's nothing to commit. Unfortunately, it seemed to have already added what I committed, but typically a commit would look something like this, where you come in and you say, hey, I just added a new feature. We'll close this off. So this would be the typical way you would go through Git, is you would do git add with a period, and that would stage your files. It would say, okay, I'm ready to commit these. Then you run the commit command with the lowercase n flag with a string. Make sure there's a space here because it will not run correctly, and then you have to Control C or Command C to get out of it. If the terminal ever does something like that, like this, you see, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute, what? Exit. What do I do? Oh, actually on Mac it's Control C as well. So both OS's Control C gets you right back out. Then you can just hit up. You can erase all your errors. And then finally do that. It says it's already up to date. I'm guessing that I already had committed and that all I needed to do was do git push. But now if we go to my GitHub, you see it says 33 commits. Now when I refresh the page, it says 34. So there's 2 working copies that I can go through where I can see the history of everything that I've done. Oh yeah, so I guess I committed that 6 days ago and it saved it in that committing stage. So not the best example, but I'll show you an example of what you guys will need to do. So, here. Now that you guys all have Git set up, you're all ready to go. Do you guys have VS Code set up? No? Highly recommended. Visual Studio Code. They may have told you to download Sublime. Do other people have Sublime, Atom, anything like that? We can go through this real quick. I think that this is the best IDE. I think a lot of other people agree. So right here, you just type in Visual Studio Code just like this. It's actually free, and it's built by Microsoft. So we're dealing with the big dogs with this. I love this IDE. When I have to use another IDE, it makes me sad because it's so great. So download the appropriate version for you. Again, I already have it installed, but I guess we'll see. Maybe it'll reinstall it just so I can give you guys a guide. So just to recap, what I did was I just Googled Visual Studio Code, and I came down here to where it just said download, because I just wanted to cut to the chase. So I downloaded the file. Now that's up here. Oh, it doesn't? Yeah. Right there.
Yeah, I see it, there's now a little bit of the screens and
Oh, yeah, because it looks like I'm on the home page. But you're good. You just click on that. That'll download the right version for you. installed Git, so maybe that's what. Okay, you need to download the Git SCM. Where's the command line developer tools? Oh wait, no, maybe just install those. Yeah. Git is very trustworthy. I would have no qualms downloading Git on any machine. It's one of the most trustworthy. It's not even a company, it's more like a community of people all working together to continuously make it better. I mean, Microsoft did just buy them out, but prior to that, they were working as just open source team. So hopefully we can get this all installed. It makes it easier, it's not required. But I don't want to, I am recording, so I just want to get this all for the recording and then I can stop, just in case people, just want to watch this again. They don't want to wait for me to finish. So once you have all of that, then you can open Visual Studio Code. You may have seen me open this before. And then in here, I'm actually going to just, we're going to open, let's do a new window. Straight up new window. Yeah, so this is what you'll come to, or until it reads all of your, but essentially what you'd want to do is have just like a working file. You can open a folder. I am just going to do a very basic one. I'll do coding. I'll do coding. Okay. So what this just did is it opened the file, but it's reading everything as an actual code file. It's not reading it like a text editor. If you guys have worked with IDEs like Sublime and Atom, you've probably seen something like this. But essentially, what we have is a place for us to do this project. That's an extension. You don't need to worry about that. So all you need to do, and as a matter of fact, I'll do this here. Get rid of Finder. I'm not going to do this in Visual Studio Code. It does make it easier, but it's essentially the same thing. We go desktop, or sorry, the documents. I'm just going to create a new folder here. I always forget how to do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to add a folder and it's
There we go.
giving
In Visual Studio Code.
yeah. Add a folder to workspace.
Let me just finish this real quick and then I'll come over and help you out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a folder called coding, because I anticipate that you guys will have a similar folder called coding or something like that, right? So we open it up, and I know this is very small, I apologize, but it doesn't seem to listen to the increasing size command. So I have a blank folder, right? So what I'm going to do is, it's so much easier on Linux. Okay. So you guys might need to get familiar with the terminal. Let's see. So if you open, well, so when you open Bash, try to keep your folder in a really easy to find spot. But I close my terminal. I'm gonna open the wrong thing. I'm gonna open the terminal, and now I am on a brand new terminal. So this is exactly what you guys would be looking at. I'll type in ls. I'll pump this up. So I'm at like my root directory right now, right? Now hopefully you guys have like a coding, I'll do that right now, a coding folder. Documents. Is it up on the, let's see, desktop. how do I get? Yeah, I just want to try and get this recorded as best I can. Okay, I'll just throw it in documents. So it's already there. Okay, so typically you would have some way of accessing. So I'll clear this again. We're going to open up the terminal. It's going to be completely blank. The first thing you want to do is type in ls. That's going to list your selections. Okay. Bash in the terminal for you. It's not working.
It looks like you're opening a local HTML file. It's referencing your C drive. So when it says it's done installing, it's go to release notices and default. So you say next and to in here. But it finished installing.
Okay. I apologize. I thought that I forget her name, Marissa or Marie or whatever, would have gone over a couple of these things prior, so I apologize. Real quick, I'm just going to finish this. So what you would do is, in order to do this project, right? So we're at the checkpoint. We're back in Learn. In order to do this checkpoint, there's a repository. So we have to go to the repository. I'm just doing this for the video, and then I'll come around and help you guys, because this is important. So you come over here. This is going to be the assignment for you guys, and I'll help lead up to that point as it comes. But I'm recording this just to show you. You come to this web page. Again, I got here from the lesson. It's the very last lesson. It says checkpoint with the star. It has the link. I click it. Over here, this button, clone. Right here, we want to clone with HTTPS. It's always going to be that as default. You can also use SSH. I've done that before. It's great, but for now, just take this link that they've given you and copy it. So now we have a reference to this repository. So, wait, does it say fork and clone? When you click on the checkpoint, it's probably That's because we need to set the permissions in the repository in order for you guys to. So let me. Darn it. Okay. Anyway, real quick, just so I can finish this video and then start helping everybody out. I thought this was going to be a much smoother experience. So what I would do is I would go into Documents, ls, cd, coding. Now that I'm here, I can type in git clone, and I copy and paste in that address. I hit enter, and now it's going to load it into my system. I type in ls, I type cd, c. Since it's the only thing here that starts with C, I can just hit tab to save myself some typing. And then I hit enter, and then I do git pull. Well, no, it's already there. Let me see. The last thing you might need to do is npmi. But now that I'm looking at this is probably too complicated for you guys. Once you're done with that, then you finally have access to it, and then at that point you would probably want an IDE, but there's other IDEs out there such as Sublime, which I keep saying, if I could spell it right. Sublime. Yeah. Oh, Solbeam. Sublime Text, this is another one if Visual Studio Code isn't your thing, and yeah, Atom is another one. You said brackets? Yeah, brackets is another one. Yep, Atom, brackets. So there's a bunch of different options for you guys. That would be the process of using Git and how you would actually get a repository onto your local machine, but I'm going to stop the recording so I can go